Lagos Talks 91.3.
Let's talk.
Monkeypox cases rises to 157 in Nigeria. Court to hear certificate forgery suit against Bola Ahmed Tinubu on September 7. And also headlines from outside the country. Israel and Gaza holds a ceasefire after days of violence. Good afternoon and welcome to the news again. I am Victor. The number of monkeypox cases has risen to 157 in the country, according to health authorities. In a situation report for week 30, the Nigeria Center for Disease Control, the NCDC, said the cases are recorded across 26 states since the month of January. From January 1 to July 31, 2022, the NCDC said 4 deaths were recorded from 4 states, that's Delta, with 1 death that is, 1 death as well recorded in Lagos, Ondo, and Akwa Ibom states as well. The report had also shown that there were at least 413 suspected cases of the monkeypox disease in the country. The Academic Staff Union of Universities, ASUU, has challenged the Minister of State for Labour and Employment, Festus Keyamo, to mention moves by the federal government to bring an end to the ongoing strike embarked upon by the union. The reaction by the union follows a recent interview granted by Festus Keyamo, where he said it was unrealistic for the federal government to borrow 1.2 trillion yearly to meet the financial demands of the ASUU, adding that the government had done all within its power to end the strike. The ASUU's national president, Professor Emmanuel Soleke, in an interview where he expressed disappointment at the claims of the minister, also revealed that the government has not released any monetary amount since the commencement of the strike, and accused Keyamo of completely misinforming the public. President Buhari had on the 19th of July directed the Minister of Education, Adamu, to prefer a solution to the challenge and report back to him in 2 weeks. The Federal High Court Abuja has fixed the 7th of September for the hearing of a legal suit seeking the disqualification of Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the presidential candidate of the All Progressives Congress, from contesting the 2023 presidential elections for allegedly presenting a forged certificate. Justice Ahmed Mohammed fixed the hearing just as it granted an ex parte order for substituted service on Tinubu, who had invaded personal service of court processes. The plaintiffs, who are 4 chieftains of the APC, are praying the court for an order disqualifying Tinubu from contesting or participating in the forthcoming presidential election as a candidate of the APC on the grounds of the information he supplied to the INEC as the presidential candidate of the party. Counsel to the plaintiff, Gandhi Uche, told the court that substituted service has become necessary because all attempts to serve the presidential candidate have proved abortive, as he cannot be reached. A London museum says it has agreed to return to Nigeria artifacts looted in the 19th century from the Kingdom of Benin. The Gunmen Museum, recently named Museum of the Year 2022, said ownership of 72 objects would be transferred to the Nigerian government following a request of the Nigeria's National Commission for Museums and Monuments in the month of January. The items from the Gunmen's collection, which includes 12 brass plaques known as Benin bronzes, a brass cockerel, and the key to the King's Palace, are only some of the many artifacts stocked across museums in the West. The German authorities had earlier returned more than 1,100 artifacts to Nigeria, although the British Museum holds the world's largest collection of Benin bronzes, which it claims it cannot return due to the British Museum Act of 1963 and the National Heritage Act of 1983. The SocioEconomic Rights and Accountability Project, SERAP, and Center for Journalism, Innovation and Development have sued President Muhammadu Buhari, asking the court to declare arbitrary and illegal the 5 million imposed on Trust TV and other platforms over terrorism reporting. Other platforms sanctioned by the National Broadcasting Commission, the NBC, include MultiChoice Nigeria Limited, NTA Star Times Limited, and Telcom Satellite Limited. Joined in the suit as defendants include Minister of Information and Culture, Lai Mohammed, and the NBC. The NBC had last week imposed the fines on the media houses, claiming that the documentaries glorify the activities of bandits and undermines national security in Nigeria, and also contravene the provisions of the Nigeria Broadcasting Code. The gunmen on Sunday killed at least a person and injured 2 others during an attack on Shola quarters in Katsina City. The attack came about 2 months after terrorists, armed with sophisticated weapons, invaded the same community. A resident of the area who confirmed the incident said the bandits stormed the community in the early hours of Sunday at about 1:30 a.m. He said the bandits had also abducted a couple during the attack, which he said lasted for over 30 minutes. Adding that those who were injured had been taken to hospital, the neighboring Federal Teaching Hospital Katsina, for medical attention. Meanwhile, operatives of the Katsina Police Command have rescued 6 kidnapped victims at Unguan Dako Danja local government area during a raid in which 8 suspected terrorists were also neutralized. The River State Governor, Nyesom Wike, says his government has received an intelligence report that politicians in the state have begun recruiting cultists and ex-convicts to be used as political thugs before and during next year's general elections. The governor, in a state broadcast on Sunday, warned that he will pull down any structure, any hotel or entertainment centers where such gatherings are being held, adding that its security agencies in the state have also been alerted to be on the trail of those politicians involved. The Lagos state government has disclosed that its ban on motorcycles, popularly known as Okada, is already yielding benefits, as Okada-related accidents have reduced from 550 a month to less than 100, while traffic robberies and theft have also reduced tremendously in the state. Commercial motorcyclists called Okada riders were banned by the governor from plying in 6 local government areas in the state: Etiosa, Ikeja, Surulere, Lagos Island, Lagos Mainland, and Apapa, as well as 9 local government councils areas. It is not the first time the government will impose the measure, as in January 2020, a ban was also imposed. In the meantime, the state governor, Mr. Babajide Sanwo-Olu, has inspected ongoing works on the Red Line rail corridor and expressed optimism that the project would be operational before the first quarter of 2023. Speaking after embarking on the inspection at Agege NRC train station, the iconic Ikeja Station Mushi-Yaba intersection of Apapa Road as well, leading to Butemeta Wingbo, the governor said the project would have passengers movement by January next year. He said the infrastructure development is on schedule and civil work will be near completion by the month of December on the Red Rail Line conceived by his government. The governor added that the Red Line Rail project, will enhance connectivity along the routes, as the government is committed to embark on regeneration of the axis.
Several demolitions that have taken place. Government has taken extensive amount, far over beyond what anybody could have expected on that entire. That's why we don't have any problem at all. And you also saw the station that's also going on there. So at Mushi, we have the bridge overpass. We also have the station, so that makes the second bridge overpass.
Outside the country, U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken, who is in South Africa at the start of a three-nation African tour, will hold talks with his South African counterpart, Naledi Pandor, later today. Blinken is expected to announce a new strategy for Africa to boost American influence on the continent, amid concerns that Washington is losing out to both China and Russia. Relations have been strained in recent months as South Africa, a regional superpower, remained neutral in the Ukraine war, with Pandor accusing the U.S. of trying to punish African countries for refusing to join Western calls to condemn Moscow. After South Africa, Blinken will go to Rwanda and the Democratic Republic of Congo. In the meantime, Israel and the Palestinian armed group Islamic Jihad have declared a truce, raising hopes of an end to 3 days of Israeli bombardment in Gaza, which has killed at least 44 Palestinians, including 15 children. The Egypt-brokered truce began at 11:30 p.m. local time Sunday, despite a flurry of Israeli air raids and Palestinian rocket attacks up until the last minute. While both sides had agreed to halt the fighting, each has warned the other that it will respond with force to any violence. U.S. and United Nations leaders urged both sides to continue to observe the ceasefire, with President Joe Biden praising the truce and calling on all parties to fully implement it and to ensure fuel and humanitarian supplies are flowing into Gaza. In business, the federal government, through the Budget Office of the Federation, has revealed it will begin the implementation of its proposed excise duties on telecommunication services and beverages in 2023. This is despite backlashes from the Minister of Communications and Digital Economy, Issa Pantami, and the Manufacturers Association of Nigeria. However, the Budget Office of the Federation, which is under the Ministry of Finance, Budget and National Planning, revealed its plan in its recently released 2023-2025 Medium-Term Expenditure Framework and Fiscal Strategy paper. According to the ministry, this was in a bid to boost its non-oil revenue streams, adding that the excise duty revenue is expected to grow exponentially because of the introduction of telecom service charge. And that takes us to business news, where President Muhammadu Buhari has hailed the performance of Team Nigeria following their impressive performance at the 2022 Commonwealth Games in Birmingham. The president, in a press release by his spokesman Femi Adesina, commended the 94 athletes who represented the country, noting that this was a special moment and a fitting parting gift for him, being his last Commonwealth Games as head of state. With 35 medals, including 12 gold, 9 silver and 14 bronze, Nigeria recorded the best ever outing in the Commonwealth Games, surpassing the 1994 record of 11 gold medals in Victoria. In football, Barcelona's president Joan Laporta has disclosed that Frenkie de Jong wants to stay at the Nou Camp despite interest from Manchester United. De Jong has been linked with a move to Chelsea, but is also a key target for new Manchester United manager Erik ten Hag, whose side lost 2-1 at home to Brighton on Sunday in his first game in charge. The Premier League side agreed a £63.5 million deal for the Netherlands midfielder last month, but the move is yet to be finalized. Reports have suggested Barcelona wants De Jong, who's 25, to take a wage cut should he remain at the club amid their financial troubles. And in entertainment news this afternoon, Beyonce's new album Renaissance has landed at number 1 on the Billboard 200 albums chart to become the pop star's 7th solo album to reach such a feat. Beyonce is now the first female artist to have her first 7 solo albums debut at number 1 on the Billboard 200. Beyonce's chart success is not limited to the 200 albums chart. In 2016, the Houston native set a new record when every song from her 6th studio album Lemonade charted on the Billboard 100, the Hot 100, becoming the first female artist to ever have 12 or more songs on the chart at the same time. Renaissance, billed as Act 1, the first of a 3-act project which she recorded during the pandemic, was released on the 29th of July 2022. And the headlines again. Monkeypox cases rise to 157 here in Nigeria. Courts to hear certificate forgery suit against Bola Ahmed Tinubu on the 7th of September. And we also told you on the foreign scene, Israel and Gaza hold ceasefire after days of violence. Thanks for listening and good afternoon to you.
We are Lagos Talks 91.3.
Let's talk.